The average American household earns over $74,000 a year. That's the highest median income in U.S. history. And yet, 57% of Americans have less than $1,000 in savings. Almost 4 in 10 people cannot cover a $400 emergency without going into debt. The answer is not the economy. It's not your boss. It's not inflation. Though, yeah, that hurts. The real answer is 7 specific habits. 7 invisible patterns that drain your wealth before you even realize it's happening. Hello everyone, welcome back to Wealth Nation, where we don't sugarcoat money, we fix it. I'm your host, and this is the show where real people face real financial truth, right here, right now. Let's get into it. Today, I'm sitting down with Amelia Carter. Amelia is 29, lives in Austin, makes decent money, and by every external measure, she should be doing fine. But she's $11,000 in credit card debt, has $2,300 in savings, and feels like the finish line keeps moving further away every single month. If any part of that sounds familiar, stay right here, because by the end of this conversation, you will see exactly where your money is going. And more importantly, the 7 things you need to stop doing immediately if you ever want to be rich. Amelia, before we dive in, I want to tell you something I'm going to come back to at the end of this conversation. There's one mistake on this list that I believe is responsible for at least 80% of your current financial situation. Just one. I want you to try to figure out which one it is as we go through them. We'll see if you're right at the end.
Okay, now I'm nervous and curious.
Good. Let's go. Amelia, tell me honestly, when you took your current job, what was the main thing you were looking for?
Honestly, a good salary and stability. I was 25. I had student loans. I just wanted something secure with benefits.
And how did that work out for you 4 years later?
I mean, I'm sitting here talking to you about not being rich, so the salary was fine at first. Now it just feels like I'm stuck. I got 1 raise in 4 years, 3%. Meanwhile, rent in Austin went up 40%.
Here's what nobody tells you when you're 25 and just want stability. A salary is a ceiling, not a ladder. The moment you optimize for a paycheck, you have accepted a cap on your income. And here's the dangerous thing about that ceiling. It comes with the illusion of safety. Direct deposit, health insurance, 401k match. It all feels secure. But you are building someone else's empire, not yours.
That's exactly how it feels. Like I'm just a gear in someone else's machine.
Think about this. A person making $58,000 a year with no investments, no skills growth, no equity, where are they in 20 years? Still making maybe $75,000, living paycheck to paycheck in a more expensive version of the same life. That's the silent trap of working only for money. The shift you need to make is from asking, how do I get paid more, to asking, what high-income skills am I building? Skills like copywriting, video editing, coding, sales, digital marketing, UX design. These are skills the market pays $80 to $200 an hour for, and you can build them on the side while keeping your job.
So I shouldn't quit my job?
Not yet, but you should absolutely start building something that doesn't have a ceiling. Skills plus equity. Those are the 2 wealth multipliers. Skills increase what you earn per hour. Equity means you own a piece of something that grows while you sleep. Start there and everything else starts to change.
No one ever framed it that way for me before.
All right, mistake number 2, and Amelia, I already know this one hits close to home. You mentioned a car payment earlier. Tell me about that.
Yeah. I financed a 2024 CRV right when I got a small raise. I felt like I deserved it, you know? I was working hard. And it looked good. $487 a month, which felt manageable at the time.
How does it feel now?
Like a chain around my ankle every single month?
Here's the brutal truth behind that $487. A car is a depreciating asset. The moment you drove it off the lot, it lost thousands in value. And because it's financed, you're also paying interest, meaning you're actually paying more than the car is worth for something that is becoming worth less every month. That is the exact opposite of building wealth. The Federal Reserve published data showing nearly 40% of Americans can't handle a $400 emergency expense. 40%. The person you see flexing a designer bag, a new BMW, bottle service at the club, there's a very real chance that's all on credit cards at 22% APR. That is not wealth. That is the performance of wealth, and it is bankrupting a generation.
I've definitely been guilty of that. I bought stuff to feel successful because I didn't actually feel successful.
That's one of the most honest things someone can admit. And here's the rule wealthy people actually live by. Assets first, lifestyle second. Before you buy the nice thing, your assets buy it for you. You invest in index funds, real estate, stocks, you let those compound. Then you use the returns to fund the lifestyle. That way your wealth pays for your fun, not your paycheck.
So, delayed gratification, basically.
Intentional gratification. The average millionaire drives a 4-year-old Toyota, not because they can't afford a Ferrari, but because they understand that the Ferrari doesn't build wealth. The investment you make instead of buying the Ferrari does. Amelia, you mentioned you tried dropshipping and an Etsy shop. What happened?
Both failed. And honestly, looking back, I think I tried to do everything myself. Product research, design, social media, customer service, shipping. I burned out in like 3 months on each one.
That's exactly what I expected to hear. Because solo hustle has a ceiling. You only have 24 hours. Your energy is finite. You cannot outcompete a talented team. Full stop. This is not an opinion. This is math.
But I can't afford to hire people right now.
Right now, there are AI tools, freelancers on Fiverr for $20 to $50, Canva for design, Shopify for e-commerce, entire systems that let one person run what used to require a team of 5. Your job is to identify your zone of genius, the one thing only you can do, and outsource or automate everything else.
That actually sounds manageable.
And here's a massive opportunity that almost nobody is talking about, especially for someone in marketing like you. There are hundreds of thousands of small business owners in their 50s and 60s who have incredible, profitable businesses running on completely outdated systems. No online presence, paper invoices, word of mouth only. You can walk in with your skills, modernize their entire operation, Google My Business, Instagram, a simple website, email marketing, and charge $1,500 to $5,000 for that. You don't build from zero. You plug into something that already works and scale it.
Wait, with my marketing background, I could literally do that right now.
You could start making calls tomorrow. That's not a business you build. That's a business you walk into. Mistake number 4. And this one is invisible, which makes it deadly. Too many inputs. Amelia, when you're trying to figure out your finances, where do you turn?
Everywhere. TikTok finance accounts, YouTube, Reddit threads, my coworkers, my mom, random podcasts. It's actually overwhelming. Like, one person says invest in crypto. The next says crypto is a scam. Someone else says index funds are the only answer. Someone says buy real estate no matter what.
And after consuming all of that, what do you actually do?
Nothing. I get paralyzed and just do nothing.
That's cognitive overload, and it is one of the most expensive forms of inaction. Because while you're trying to figure out who to listen to, inflation is eroding your savings, compound interest is working against your debt, and time, the single most valuable asset in investing, is passing. Here is the framework that actually works. Step 1. Define your specific 10-year goal. Not, I want to be rich. I mean a real number. What does your financial life look like at age 39, Amelia?
Honestly, I want to own property. I want $200,000 in investments. I want to not feel anxious every time I check my bank account.
Perfect. Now, step 2. Only listen to people who have specifically achieved that. Not influencers who talk about it. Not people figuring it out alongside you. People who have done it. One real estate investor who owns 5 properties is worth more than 10,000 YouTube finance videos. 2 or 3 trusted expert-level sources. Everything else goes on mute.
That's actually a relief. Like permission to stop consuming so much.
Clarity beats volume every single time. One great mentor, one proven strategy, consistent action. That's it. Mistake number 5. And I want to be careful how I say this because I'm not attacking anyone. But ego and arrogance are quietly destroying people's financial futures. Amelia, have you ever avoided asking for help because you didn't want to look like you didn't know something?
All the time. I didn't even Google basic investing terms for like 2 years because I was embarrassed I didn't already know them.
And how much did that cost you?
Probably years of compounding I'll never get back.
There's a mental model I love called the iceberg principle. What you currently know, the skills, the strategies, the experience, that's the small tip above the water. Looks impressive from the surface. But beneath the surface, that's where 90% of the real knowledge lives. The strategies that actually build generational wealth. The lessons from failures that never get posted on LinkedIn. Arrogance convinces you the tip is enough. Humility lets you explore what's underneath.
I never thought of pride as a financial mistake before.
It might be the most expensive one on this list. The wealthy are obsessively, relentlessly curious. They ask questions that might make them look uninformed. They sit in rooms where they're the least knowledgeable person, and they absorb everything. That habit, that openness, that is a superpower. Ego closes doors. Humility opens them. Mistake number 6. And Amelia, I think this might be the one. This is the one I told you about at the start. The one I believe is behind 80% of your current situation.
Okay, I'm nervous. What is it?
Passing the blame. Let me ask you, when you explain to yourself why you're not further ahead financially, what do you say?
Honestly, I say it's Austin's cost of living. I say it's my company not paying me enough. I say student loans set me back. I say the housing market is impossible for people my age. And those things are all real, aren't they?
They are real, 100% real. But here's where it gets dangerous. The moment those external factors become your primary explanation, your story, you have handed over all of your power because you cannot change what you don't control. There are 2 tools everyone uses to explain their life. The magnifying glass, you hold it up and look outward at the government, the economy, your boss, the system, the cost of rent, and some of that criticism is completely valid. But the magnifying glass gives you 0 power to change anything. Now pick up the mirror. Look at your decisions, your habits, your daily actions. What can I change right now, regardless of what the economy does? Because here's the fact. Wealthy people build wealth in recessions, in inflation, in both high interest and low interest environments, because they focus relentlessly on what they control.
Is this the one? Is this what's been holding me back?
What do you think?
Yeah, I think so. I've been looking outward this whole time. I never really looked in the mirror.
That realization right there, that's the beginning of a completely different financial life. And the final mistake, the one that makes all the others possible, staying static, living inside your comfort zone. Amelia, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much have you been playing it safe?
Honestly? 9. I've been at the same job 4 years. I tried 2 side hustles but quit fast because I got scared. I haven't tried anything new because I'm terrified of looking stupid or wasting money.
Your comfort zone is not a safe space. It is a self-imposed prison with very comfortable walls. And the most terrifying thing about it is, you don't feel the bars. Because everything is fine. Not great, not building, not growing. Just fine. And fine, compounded over 30 years, becomes not enough.
That's a dark way to look at it.
It's an honest way to look at it. Every meaningful thing you've ever built in your life was built at the edge of discomfort. Every skill that matters, you didn't know it once. Learning it felt awkward. Wealth is exactly the same. Here is what calculated risk actually looks like in practice. You don't quit your job tomorrow. You start the side hustle in the evenings, 5 hours a week. You open the investment account this week, even with $50. You send the cold email to that small business owner. You take the online course in the skill you've been putting off. You let it be bad at first, because every risk you take that doesn't end you expands you. And suddenly, things that used to terrify you become Tuesday morning.
5 hours a week, $50 to start. That actually sounds like something I can do.
That's all it takes to begin. And beginning, that's 90% of what separates the people who build wealth from the people who just think about it. Amelia, we just went through 7 mistakes, 7 habits that are standing between where you are and where you want to be. Let me ask you one final question. What are you going to do differently this week? Be specific.
I'm going to open an investment account, even if it's just $100. And I'm going to reach out to 3 local businesses about their digital presence. I've been sitting on that idea for months.
That's it. That's the whole game. 2 actions this week. That's how it starts. Not with a perfect plan, not with a big moment, not with a windfall, with 2 uncomfortable actions that you take anyway. If this conversation hit something for you, here's your challenge. In the comments below, I want you to do 2 things. Tell me which of the 7 mistakes has been your biggest leak, and tell me the one action you're committing to this week. No vague answers, specific, a number, a name, a deadline. That public commitment is more powerful than any savings app. And if you want more conversations like this one, subscribe and hit the bell. We drop real financial truth every single week. No fluff, no hype, no get-rich-quick nonsense. I'm your host. This is Wealth Nation. Amelia, thank you for being so honest today.
Thank you. I feel like I can actually breathe now.
Good. Now go take those 2 actions. We'll see you in the next one.